My cat's literally going to the bathroom right now. Dude! Oh, wait. Stop. What's up, guys? How's it going? This is James coming to you from iRunTech. How's it going, guys? This video right here is a video that I've been wanting to come out with for a long time now. That is kind of like my current setup, or the setup that I use to kind of make my YouTube videos, create the content to bring out to you guys. And a lot of people are kind of always wondering, what do you basically need to have like kind of like a basic starter kit for YouTube? Like, what are some of the things you can do to kind of increase your production, to give you proper and really good quality, to increase your sound and audio? There's a lot of different things. So I'm just going to jump right into it. So the first thing that you can definitely use to create YouTube videos, and that is a mobile device. I currently don't have a mobile device right now. Mine is kind of cracked and disintegrated into 100,000 pieces, so hence I don't have that, but I'll show, boom, there. So a lot of the new iPhones and even the new Android, I'm an Apple guy though, so I'm gonna go with the iPhone. A lot of the new iPhones, especially the 6S or the new 7 and 7S out now, they actually record up to 4K. You'd be able to record some pretty good video quality on a lot of them, but a lot of them just, the only bad thing you get, you can pretty much make a YouTube page and YouTube videos with just the phone itself. That's really all you need. You don't need anything else. Maybe a computer to upload it, but even you can do that with any app. But if you want to like have like backups of your videos to kind of edit it and do whatnot, but even then you have iMovie on the Apple iPhone. You can have video editing apps to kind of edit it and then upload it to YouTube. Really, all you really need is a phone to start. That's your super basic thing of all you need. The thing that you will get definitely if you have a phone is if you're holding it, this, like, say to yourself, nobody in the world has like super solid hands. So that's when you get like super choppy and like kind of like video where this kind of goes like, you just see it like this all the time, and nobody really likes. If a person watching your video has really easily motion sickness and they're watching it, they're going to feel a little bit queasy. They're not going to watch your channel. So there's a couple things that kind of improve that. As far as quality, to be able to have a good stabilized video, one of them is a tripod that I picked up at Micro Center. It was about $10, and it literally has bendable arms, so you can kind of put it in pretty much any position you want to. You can kind of mount it to a tree. You can just kind of stay it like flat on the desk here. You can just have it like stay on the desk here, and it will stay in the position that you put it on. And then it also has this little camera mount here, so the camera, you put it basically right inside, and you kind of adjust to the size of the camera so it hugs the mobile device or your iPhone or Android or whatever you use, so it makes it good and snug. And then you can kind of position it so you have a nice still tripod, and you'll be able to shoot your video, and you shouldn't have anything like shaking. If you don't want to use your mobile phone, another thing you can actually use, which is what I'm using, is an actual webcam itself. This is what I'm recording off of a webcam here, and I'll show you guys what that is right now. Boom. Okay, there we go. And actually, one thing that I noticed too, I'll get to this later in the video though, but I actually had the wrong audio settings on my recording. So me being a noob, I have the my audio going through my webcam instead of this really nice microphone, which I will go into later in the video. But right now you are looking at me. This is from my laptop. I have a MacBook Pro. This is what my web camera is, my MacBook Pro. Obviously the quality is not great, so this is why I record on this guy right here. This is a Logitech 920. Records up to 1080p. You'll see a lot of like live stream guys use this, like definitely like Twitch streamers and like YouTube gaming streamers. They will use this because it's not super expensive. It's about, give or take, $100. If you can find it on sale, you can probably get it for about $60, and it is a great video recorder. The quality on it is really top notch. I will go back to it because I really hate the quality of this laptop webcam right now. So let me go back to this guy. Oh my god, so much better, the quality on it. Okay, so that's another thing you can use. You can use a webcam to record. Another thing you can kind of use, and this is what I use personally, this is what I like, and I bought it specifically to make videos and record, to create content and record YouTube videos, and it is an iPad. It's an iPad Pro. So this is the latest model of the iPad. I think I have one, actually already, I guess I do have two iPads. I have two kids, that's why. Let me get the one that I have open. There we go. This is the 9.7-inch model. It is the latest one out in the market right now. The other one, they have the big 16, or not 16, my God, that'd be huge. 12-inch Apple Pro, iPad Pro that's out. And this actually records in 4K. And it records great. You'll see a lot of my vlogs that I do, and some of my quick tip videos that I have in the past, and some of my ones that I recorded by me unboxing Arcade Block. It's recorded on this, and the video on it's really, really good. The only thing that you will get negative on is the audio. The audio, no matter what, even this webcam that I'm recording on right here, this iPad Pro, the phone, Apple phone that you record to, it's not really good audio. So if you want good audio, especially for somebody like me who's really, really soft-spoken and who at times don't talk really clear, I'm sure in some of my videos you kind of maybe have to rewind a little bit and go, what did he say? What was that? And it's just how I talk, and I apologize for it. But to kind of rectify that, I have this right here, and I'm going to switch the audio from this microphone so I don't have a lot of like banging and kill all the headphone users, and switch it to my camera. So 1 second. Okay, I apologize guys, it's getting dark. I'm doing this video at the same time. I'm trying to use natural lighting, and lighting is another point I'll get to later in the video. But now I have my overhead lights on, so you should probably see me a lot better. But I'm getting up far ahead in the video. Audio. So the way I kind of want to increase the audio, I don't even know if you can actually tell from the difference between the audio from about 30 seconds ago versus how it is now. It might sound a little bit more grainy, it might sound a little bit more bass. I'm actually talking a little bit louder to try to compensate for it. But this is my microphone that I love using towards any videos I create, and it is the Blue Yeti microphone. It is a USB microphone. It has multiple different style patterns of recording, where you can do kind of like a podcast style recording, where just directional recording that just basically focuses on you right in front of it, and kind of drowns out the background noise going from any other direction. There's also different patterns, so we can actually have kind of like an interview mode. So if I'm actually talking to somebody else, the microphone's right in the middle. Rather, if I have it kind of like mounted like in a type of shock mount, or if I have it just basically lying right here on the table like I mostly do, in that mode you can basically have somebody sitting right across from me, say you the audience, you're my interviewer, and the microphone will pick up you, and it'll pick up myself, and it will drown out anything on the side coming in. And there's also a 360 where this picks up every single thing, and there is also a last pattern where it kind of increases the gain. So if you're kind of far away from the microphone, it kind of picks you up a little bit better. I love using this microphone. I know there's a million other microphones a lot better than this one, but for the starting YouTubers, for just people kind of getting up off the ground, this is a great solution. Let me switch it back right now. Okay, so now I have that connected back to my computer that I'm doing this recording on. Now you might ask yourself that, if this is a USB style microphone, then how are you going to take advantage of this microphone with your iPad or even with your Apple iPhone? Well, I'll tell you how. There is a way you can plug the Yeti microphone into, got a lot of notifications, into your iPad or even into your Apple iPhone. And it is a adapter that they sell at Apple. Goes for about $30, and it's the Lightning to USB camera adapter. That's that guy right here. Let me see if I can focus on the camera. Yep, there we go. And what this is, it has a lightning bolt connector, and then the other end, pardon me, it is a lightning bolt connector, and then on the other end, it is a USB female connector. So you would plug this in to your iPad, and then your Yeti microphone will plug into this adapter. And what that will do, it'll give you basically audio, so you would have crisp, clear audio without having to use the regular internal microphone, which is not that good in the iPad Pro. It's better than most, but nowhere near the quality that this microphone will give you. Now, I only recommend doing that style of recording with this particular adapter. It's like kind of stationary recording, kind of like how I'm doing right now. Because I'll tell you the reason why. Because this microphone actually requires a lot of power, which the iPad itself and even the iPhone cannot generate. So what you end up going to have to need is you're going to have to need a power USB hub. And with that power USB hub, then you'll be able to power the microphone itself, which will then be able to work with the iPad Pro or your Apple iPhone. And once you be able to do that, then you'll be able to have it kind of mount it to how you want to, which kind of brings it to the next thing you kind of want to have if you're using an Apple iPad or anything, any device really. I mean, you want to have yourself a tripod. And this is your basic Dynex tripod. It's adjustable up to I think it stands about 4 feet tall, which is really good for a tripod, and I can kind of adjust it the way I want it to. A lot of times I have this kind of just sitting flat on the desk itself, and it's kind of pointing straight at me. And what I have here, and my kids broke one of them though, which annoys me, but this is the tripod attachment to actually hold your iPad Pro in. And what you would do basically, you just kind of like adjust it to kind of the size. This is universal, not specifically for the iPad Pro, but you can adjust it to size that you want to kind of fit any iPad or any type of tablet, and you would just adjust it, and these little knobs would hold it down to keep it in place. I'm missing one though because we went camping and the kids decided this was a toy. So you would adjust that to the size and kind of set your tripod how you way to want it, and you'd be able to have pretty decent style recording. Now some of you who don't do stationary style recordings like I'm doing right now, we're kind of more out and about, which you kind of seen in some of my blog series, then what I would recommend is, I don't have it in front of me though, but I have it right there, and that is a lavalier mic. This is a wire lavalier mic, and it works pretty good. It basically will able to give you a better sound than what you would have on your iPad. Now I'll give it this: if you're doing a style of vlog or walking around, the iPad Pro actually has a pretty decent enough microphone in order to record your voice if you have it kind of close, because mostly vlogs are kind of more or less personal, like up close and personal, so you don't really have that far to go when it comes to recording your video. Now kind of getting into some of the really cool different things you can kind of do to improve your recordings. One thing you definitely want to have decent lighting. Having to be able to have natural lighting come in is really nice, because it kind of gives a nice soft kind of color on you. Right now I have my overhead lights, so this is not as bad as I thought it was going to be, because honestly I haven't recorded too much in here, but it kind of gives you more of like a warm style kind of like overall color, and not so much natural. And there's a lot of different ways you can kind of do to kind of get different style lighting. You can kind of play around with different style bulbs. You can have this versus a warm style bulb. You can have more or less kind of like a clear style bulb, and you can mess around with different lightings and kind of see what it works. I always recommend natural lighting. It works best. I have two really big windows right here, so it kind of helps bring natural lighting back into me. This so happens I just happened to run out of actual light when I was recording this video, but what I have in my hand actually right here, this is kind of fun. Some of the limitations that you have on an iPad is versus that of like a DSLR camera or some type of professional style camera is you don't have the opportunity to change the lenses. Not so true. So this I picked up at Amazon for about $15 to $20, and it is a fisheye lens, which gives me a nice angle. And I'm gonna see if I can actually do this on this camera here so you can kind of see the effect. There you go. See, so it gets kind of like a fisheye effect, so you can actually see more things that I actually have on the table. Like my Yeti was out of frame. Whoa, that's actually really cool. The Yeti microphone was out of frame, so this gives you a much wider angle view, so you can actually get more things in a shot, and kind of gives it more of like a fisheye view. That's what it is, a fisheye lens. So you can get more frames into the shot. This kind of gives you a different perspective as far as your recording views. I used it once before, I believe, when I was doing an overall vlog and kind of hanging up my TV and hanging up my audio system. You'll find that right there, linked to right there, so you can kind of check out that video to kind of see how I did the fisheye. Unscrew this, and now what this becomes now is, instead of a fisheye, now it becomes a micro. So I'm gonna put this back over the camera. It's gonna make everything extremely blurry. It's gonna make things extremely blurry. but what it does, it enhances things really up close. See how we have it focusing right on that right there? So it's for kind of like really super close-up shots. So if you want anything like really super high detail, so if you're doing kind of like B-roll on a certain product, you can use this. Even though I've got it to do that at the exact point to kind of do B-roll, but I still find out that I have to be like super extremely close to kind of do it. So it's more for kind of super close-up shots than it is for anything else. But this kind of gets into the fancier things about going into kind of like this, try to get more creative to try to be able to increase your production value from what you're actually doing. Okay, so let's talk actual cost. What is the cost it will cost me to do, or what type of investment am I going to make to actually create content and create videos? It's not a whole lot. So I kind of already have a feeling, at least majority of actually at least watching my videos or watching anything on YouTube actually already have some type of mobile device, either a type of iPhone or Android device. So you kind of already started right there. If you don't, a lot of plans you kind of get with AT&T, Sprint, T-Mobile, Verizon, what have you, $200 for a 2-year contract. Or if you're like me, you have the AT&T Next plan, which you actually pay monthly. You can actually have a device, a really nice device, and pay a monthly fee for about 2 months or so. That's why I got the iPhone 6s Plus. I just pay monthly about $30 or something from the AT&T until it pays off, and then the phone's mine. So having the actually iPhone, we're going to use in this case the iPhone 6s. And say you don't have a laptop, or if you don't have anything to actually edit the videos on, all you have to really do is download iMovie. iMovie is a great editing video app for the iPhone itself. It's about $5 on the app market. With that, you'd be able to upload to YouTube. So for really not that much a month, we're talking about $35 to $40 a month for just your basic. And if you want to add something else onto it, to kind of, like I said, to get a better production value, then you add yourself on a tripod. If you want this really like kind of cheap and expensive tripod just to get what you want to do, this was $10. I got this at $10 at Micro Center down in Tustin, or I think it's Tustin, might be Santa Ana. Pardon me, Santa Ana, borderline Tustin. So $10 for this. So we're looking at not that much. If you want to get the production value as far as getting better microphone, then you're starting to get into a little bit more of expense when it comes to doing this YouTube hobby. This Yeti Blue microphone itself, it retailed at $100 when I originally bought it itself. I use it for a lot of other things aside from just creating content and creating YouTube videos. It's a great recording for just vocals, and I like using it for Skype and different calling when I'm talking to friends and things, so it's great as well. If you want to kind of get into like better style quality itself, remember, you don't have to get an iPad if you actually have the funds. The reason I have the iPad is because, again, I have AT&T Next, and this was part of the thing I was able to get on AT&T Next. Again, it's like $35 a month until I pay it off, and then it's mine. I'd highly recommend, instead of going to the iPad, if you have the funds to buy it, because this on itself retails for about, I believe, close to $600. Use that $600 towards an actual good camera, like a DSLR camera or some type of regular camcorder that can record good value. I can't recommend any myself, but I'm sure there's other YouTubers here. If you just Google it, they'll recommend a nice camera for you at a reasonable cost from what this guy costs. This just worked for me. In addition, if you kind of go that route, though, as far as the iPad, you definitely want to get yourself a nice big tripod. This is about $20 on Best Buy or just any place you go to. And then if you want to have the good recording to your iPhone or iPad via a Yeti microphone, then you pick up this little USB Lightning to USB adapter, which is about $30. So in hindsight, it's not a super lot of money to kind of get started. Again, really all you just basically need is that one mobile device, which you probably already have, which is probably what you're watching this video on, and an app to actually edit the video, and then a YouTube account to create content and throw it up. Really all you need. It's simple, right? We could talk about software and the different styles of software that I personally use. I use 3 or 4 different programs to actually edit these videos. I haven't really found that one that I really like. Well, that's kind of a lie. I have one that I use all the time, and I'm trying to get into more advanced features to kind of do different style things. I'm just finding myself falling back to that one that I love. It's iMovie. It's what it is. But it can be a whole other conversation as far as software. So if you guys are interested as far as what software to use in order to edit your content, leave a comment below and I'll make another video as far as the content on my workflow that I use to create my videos. It's nothing really fancy. It's really simplistic. But if you would like to see that, let me know and I'll make a video on that. Okay. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this little kind of starting package for YouTube. I hope it kind of gave you a little more insight of what you actually need and how basically easy it is to actually start creating content on YouTube. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comments below. I'm very active on social media. I will answer any questions you have. Just feel free to drop me a like. Please subscribe if you like my content. I will continue to make more videos and more unboxings. Just having a fun time on this platform. Thanks again for watching, guys. Thank you for the support, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.